Officially, Sylvester Stallone has had enough. Jimmy Kimmel was just put in his place by Hollywood's toughest star, and it wasn't pretty Kimmel thought it was a good idea to make fun of Stallone on live television. He was completely mistaken. Kimmel's subsequent appearance on ABC and late-night TV was a total bust. It all began with an appearance on a talk show that was canceled. Fans of Stallone and Tulsa King were eagerly awaiting his scheduled appearance on Jimmy Kimmel Live to promote his most recent endeavors. For many, this was a huge deal because Stallone rarely appears on late-night television. It was an opportunity to watch the most stern star in Hollywood talk candidly about his work and family life, but Kimmel had other ideas. Reports showed he personally pushed ABC to postpone Stallone's show. The reason why, rather than prioritizing professionalism, Stallone's political views did not coincide with Kimmel's. Rather than simply canceling the invitation, Kimmel first allowed his prejudice to take over. While doing a live segment, he turned it into an act. Kimmel made fun of Stallone. With inexpensive shots, he made remarks and joked about Stallone's political views. That seemed more like a personal jab than a joke. Everyone didn't like the condescending tone, and fans quickly pointed it out. Outrage erupted on social media. Kimmel is having a disastrous career. The hashtags cancel Kimmel and respect Stallone trended for hours as the backlash grew. Even casual viewers joined the chorus of criticism, saying that Kimmel's jokes weren't funny, they were mean-spirited clips. One user tweeted disrespecting Stallone, saying that's a mistake you can't recover from. Another wrote that Stallone built his legacy on hard work and respect, and Kimmel's tearing his own down with pettiness. Of the segments went viral on the internet, and the remarks were harsh. This isn't funny. Someone wrote, it's merely resentment masquerading as a joke. Many drew attention to Kimmel's actions, pointing out that there is less entertainment and more politics on late-night TV these days. Viewers weren't the only ones who noticed. Media critics also offered their opinions. One article characterized the incident as a glaring example of late-night television alienating its viewers, while another referred to it as a mistake that exposes the flaws in the foundation of legacy media. Kimmel's attempt to poke fun at Stallone didn't just fail, it backfired spectacularly, and the backlash wasn't minor. As Jimmy Kimmel Live's ratings plummeted, ABC executives felt the pinch. This wasn't just a slight decline, it was a steep one that forced the network to go into full-on damage control mode in a last-ditch effort to salvage a show that was already having trouble competing with other platforms. Stallone was contacted by ABC, who did more than simply issue an apology. They pleaded with executives to grant Stallone total freedom of speech, his thoughts on the program, which is nearly unprecedented for a strictly regulated network. They also hinted at potential future partnerships in an effort to sweeten the pot. According to one insider, they were aware of their error. Losing Stallone only made Kimmel appear weaker because he is a powerful man, but Stallone wasn't interested and turned down their offer without hesitation. His team, including his manager and agent, made it apparent to ABC that the apology felt hollow and was more about maintaining face than it was about demonstrating genuine respect. It was more important to preserve Kim's reputation and lower the ratings than it was to patch things up. Bleed Stallone refused to comply. Supporters supported him well. One social media post claimed that they only wanted him back because they were losing money. Others called ABC's apology too little, too late, pointing out that it was not because they regret what they did, but rather because Stallone had every right to withdraw behind the scenes. The producers frantically tried to stop the fallout rumors that they were considering other well-known guests to replace Stallone, but even those offers were being rejected. The situation at ABC was chaotic. The network's desperation is further revealed when actors with a reputation for being essy or having different political opinions decline to appear on Kimmel's show one by one. From Rocky to Rambo, Stallone is more than just an actor. He is a legend who has inspired audiences with tales of Tennessee for decades. For many fans, perseverance and the strength of never giving up. As someone who came from nothing to become one of Hollywood's most prestigious figures, Stallone embodies the American dream. His characters are more than just made-up heroes. Since they are representations of the difficulties that regular people encounter, Jimmy Kimmel's decision to mock Stallone felt intimate. I learned from Stallone's movies. One fan wrote, "Never give up." Another fan wrote, "What has Kimmel ever done besides talk trash about people?" Rocky always got back up after being knocked down. Nobody is counting on Kimmel to improve his social standing, and his career is in jeopardy. With side-by-side photos of Stallone and his famous training montages next to Kimmel's derogatory on-screen moments, memes quickly went viral on social media with hashtags like Respect Stallone and Cancel Kimmel. One particularly nasty post read how millions are inspired by Stallone. Kimmel encourages channel switching. Respect was at stake here, not just jokes. As someone who has always treated his audience with respect, whether on or off screen, Stallone's admirers believe that Kimmel's remarks lack decency in addition to humor. Fans pointed out that Kimmel's jokes felt more like personal attacks than comedies, and even casual viewers joined in, calling Kimmel's actions inappropriate. I don't make fun of someone like Stallone. He's Hollywood royalty, according to one viewer, and Kimmel isn't even suitable for a court jester. For years, Jimmy Kimmel's audience has been declining. His late-night performance, previously regarded as a mainstay of entertainment, he has been in decline, which is why audiences are sick of his political tirades rather than his light-hearted comedies. Unlike Jimmy Fallon, who only discusses games, music, and entertaining celebrity moments, Kimmel focuses more on contentious subjects, alienating viewers who are just looking to laugh before bed. Alright, oh my god. Robert the Problem with Robert Kimmel's apparent attempt to run a 247 debate club is that nobody signed up for it recalls his jokes about the 2020 presidential election. I apologize for umming you. Fans weren't laughing. Kimmel was busy lecturing his audience like a substitute teacher. Fallon was singing duets with pop stars, and we're already more than 2 hours into the show, and Donald Trump hasn't tweeted at us once. The ratings for Jimmy Kimmel Live have been declining more quickly than Kimmel's punchlines, so they grabbed the remote control and fled. The show's viewership fell to a record low by 2023, even falling behind Fox's Greg Gutfeld. That's right, Kimmel is losing to a guy who made his living on Reddit by making fun of cats, which is like Rocky losing to a YouTube boxer. However, Kimmel isn't the only one affected by this decline. The overall influence of legacy media is waning. Once popular with millions, late-night TV is now the TV equivalent of a Blockbuster rental. Younger audiences prefer podcasts, which are out of date and outdated. You're watching on TikTok, YouTube, and yourself. This video, correct, that should be sufficient in my opinion. In the meantime, Kimmel and other programs aren't able to reach the few viewers who still use dial-up internet. The Stallone incident could be the last straw for Disney, the company that owns, according to insiders. ABC is reconsidering Kimmel's future because executives are tired of the criticism, particularly since the network is already having trouble overall and Kimmel's contract expires in 2026. Perhaps the hunt for a younger, more experienced host has already begun. The audience can only withstand so much reprimanding, so let's hope that he isn't replaced by another lecturing comedian. This is what happens when politics takes precedence over people, and Kimmel fans couldn't have timed Stallone's rejection worse than when karma finally caught up with him. According to one tweet, Kimmel joked that another person thought he could make fun of Stallone and leave, but it turns out that Stallone delivered the knockout blow instead if Kimmel doesn't alter his strategy. His time with Disney and ABC as a late-night host may be coming to an end. Stallone, given that viewers have already pressed the snooze button on Kimmel's performance, while Jimmy Kimmel tries to remain relevant, Stan might be the wake-up call they needed. Hollywood's antiquated regulations regarding late-night television are no longer relevant to Sylvester Stallone, who is currently enjoying great success. Stallone is supporting shows like The Greg Gutfeld Show and The Joe Rogan Experience that emphasize authenticity. Each episode of The Joe Rogan Experience attracts millions of viewers. It's unscripted, unadulterated, and precisely what viewers want: applause, genuine conversations instead of ostentatious songs. Fans are sick of the same old Hollywood nonsense, and Stallone is aware of this. They prefer the real thing in podcasts over cliche jokes and rehashed questions. Let him do that. Consider Greg Gutfeld's Fox Late Night Show, which frequently outperforms more conventional programs like Kimmel in ratings. Yes, Greg Gutfeld, who used to earn a living by making jokes about cats, is currently crushing a Disney-backed host. Why? Because Gutfeld is a skilled entertainer. Without giving lectures, Stallone being on sites like this is more than just a professional move. Hollywood is receiving this message. You are free to keep your scripts. I'm going to places where people genuinely want to listen to me. And it's not just Stallone who is changing the course of events. Shazam star Zachary Levi recently criticized Hollywood's fixation on politics, calling it a killer of creativity. He's not entirely incorrect when you can just insert a preachy monologue who needs good storytelling. Another outspoken actor, James Woods, has also abandoned traditional media. These celebrities are demonstrating that you don't need Hollywood's endorsement to remain relevant, and the statistics support their claims. Podcasts and independent platforms are booming, with Rogan and similar shows taking center stage. The digital realm, as late-night television struggles to keep viewers awake. In particular, younger audiences have abandoned traditional media. You can get 3 laughs in a 30-second life hack by scrolling through TikTok instead of listening to a monologue. Regaining control over a podcast can be accomplished by using Stallone's pivot. There are no awkward commercial breaks, no producers whispering in his ear, and he is free to talk about his career, his beliefs, or even his next project without worrying about being interrupted or made fun of. Look for that on a legacy network, and Stallone has already left the building if Hollywood is not happy about it. Stars no longer need Hollywood's antiquated procedures, as demonstrated by Stallone's stand. Rather than having to comply with studio approval or smile politely during late-night performances, actors are now figuring out new ways to interact with fans on their own terms, and let's face it, fans are loving it. For years, legacy media has suffered a loss in addition to Kimmel's own. Why sit through a practice late night when platforms like podcasts, YouTube, and social media have blown those gates wide open? Hollywood has clung to its old formulas, acting as though they are still the gatekeepers of fame. Interview, during which you can spend 2 hours watching Stallone crack jokes with Joe Rogan, takes Stallone's recent shift to alternative platforms as evidence that it's no contest. Instead of wasting time with pre-written questions and pre-recorded laughter, he is using podcasts to connect with his fans and audience and gain genuine insights and unfiltered conversations. Surprisingly, there are no commercial breaks telling them to buy expensive cars that they cannot afford, and other celebrities are doing the same. Hollywood was called out by Zachary Levi for claiming that politics is destroying creativity and being more preoccupied with it than with telling stories. It's like watching a trendsetter in action as James Woods, a longtime opponent of Hollywood's agenda, has completely distanced himself from legacy media. Everyone joins the movement after one actor takes a stand. If Hollywood doesn't change its ways soon, it could become obsolete. Stallone's victory is evidence that the game has changed and that Hollywood must adapt or risk becoming irrelevant and wondering why no one is watching. In the meantime, Stallone is out here demonstrating that the underdog can occasionally win.